Hey, this is George Simons, co-founder of Solo Suit, and I'm back to show you folks out there in Florida how to respond to a debt collection lawsuit. So let's get going. The thing you need to know when you get sued for a debt in Florida is that you only have 20 days to respond to the lawsuit. If you don't respond within that time frame, you automatically lose your case. So that's a big deadline. It's not like a little junior high deadline where you can tell the teacher, like, I forgot about the assignment. Can you give me like a couple extra days? Like, oh yeah, sure. Another day here. Yeah, for sure. Just turn it in late. Nope. You got to turn it in on time. You only have 20 days to respond. Count 20 days starting with the day after you are served, and count every day, including Saturdays and Sundays. And that is the deadline you have to respond. There are 3 steps to respond to a debt lawsuit in Florida. All right. First, start your answer document. Second, make your affirmative defenses. And third, file your answer with the court. All right, I'm going to go over all 3 of those in this video. And I just want to mention, just let you know in case you don't know already, that Solo Suit can do all of that for you. You can just go on over to solosuit.com. You can get started. You just answer a few questions. We take your answers and we use it to generate an answer document for you. And then we find the right court for you and file it with the court as well as with the opposing attorney and make sure that everything gets good. We have a great success record. A lot of the times, like 30% of the time, the debt collectors just ask for the case to be dismissed once we file an answer, and 80% of the time, the case either gets dismissed or it settles for less than the person's being sued for. First, you start your answer document. All right, so create your answer document to respond to the summons and the complaint. All right, so you're being sued if you receive a summons and a complaint. All right, the complaint, it looks like this. All right, that's how a complaint in Florida oftentimes looks. All right, summons tells you that you're being sued. The complaint tells you why you're being sued. So with the answer, you got to respond to every paragraph in the complaint. All right, so the complaint lays out a number of allegations against you. There's statements saying defendant lives at this address, or defendant's name is this, or defendant had an account ending in 5693 with Discover Bank, right? Those are allegations. And then in the answer, you're going to respond to each paragraph. You're going to either admit it, deny it, or deny for lack of knowledge. All right, so if you admit it, it means you agree with everything in the answer. If you deny it, you're basically you're not exactly saying it's not true. You're more really saying, I want the debt collector to prove that it's true. All right, so a denial is a refusal to admit something. All right, so you're just saying, hey, you got to prove it. The burden of proof is on you to make it clear that I actually do owe this debt. And then you can deny for lack of knowledge. It's basically the equivalent of saying, I don't know. You can just say, I don't have enough information from this allegation to say whether it's true or not. And just by the way, this is what an answer document looks like when you use Solo Suit. It's a super robust document created by professional litigation attorneys. It's bulletproof. It's honestly probably one of the most used, one of the most filed documents in all of the courts across the U.S. Because we're responding to a lot of debt lawsuits every single day. Second, assert your affirmative defenses. All right, this is when you basically make your defense for the case. You're kind of saying hey, judge, this is why I should win this case. All right, you can make lists like you don't owe the money, you are not the owner or a co-signer on the account, and the lawsuit's an error. You're suing the wrong person. The contract was canceled. You have proof that the debt was paid. You are a victim of identity theft, or the statute of limitations has expired. That's just a few affirmative defenses you can make. Usually you want to use professional legal language, and we do that for you with Solo Suit. So let's get more into the statute of limitations here. All right, so these are the statute of limitations for Florida. Florida statutes section 95.11 covers the statute of limitations for most of them. For an oral debt, statute of limitations is 4 years. Oral debt's when you agree to something verbally, there's nothing in writing. For a written debt, statute of limitations is 5 years. That can be written contracts, 5 years. For credit card debt, statute of limitations is 5 years. So if you have a master card, Visa, Discover, American Express debt, 5 years. Then mortgages, 5 years, and court judgments, 20 years. Okay, you might say, hey, what's a court judgment? A court judgment is what a debt collector gets if you are sued and you don't respond. Then you lose, they get a judgment against you. And then instead of just having a 5-year window to sue you or to collect that debt from you, they now have 20 years. All right, so that is a big incentive to respond to this lawsuit. And in case you don't know, what is the statute of limitations? The statute of limitations is a statute that limits the period of time that somebody can take an action against you, right? In this case, it limits, it puts a deadline on when the debt collector can sue you in court to collect on the debt. Statute of limitations on credit card debt is 5 years. That means that 5 years from the last time you made a payment on the debt, on the credit card debt, is the deadline for when the collector can sue you for that debt. So if they're coming and it's been 10 years since the last time you made a payment on that account, they are banned. They're prohibited by the statute of limitations from suing you, and that is a great reason to get the case dismissed. And we make sure you say that in our answer document. Hey, I love Florida. Big fan of Florida. I just want to say, if you don't know what your Florida man is, you should probably find out, because Florida is sweet. Love the Florida man news. Might be interested to know that my Florida man is a dude who tried to ride a hamster ball to the Bahamas. There we go. You might be saying, hey, how do you know what your Florida man is? What does that even mean? Okay, here's the deal. You take your birthday, your day and month, in quotes, you type that into Google with the keyword Florida man. All right, so if your birthday is March 1st, 1990, you just take March 1st, put it in quotes, and then add Florida man onto the end of it, and type it into Google, and then the first result that shows up is going to be a news result with the headline Florida man, and that guy is going to be your Florida man, your alternative identity. My guy is a dude who is very enthusiastic, built himself a floating hamster ball, and attempted to run across the Caribbean to the Bahamas from Florida. He was unsuccessful, and the Coast Guard had to rescue him. So step 3 is you got to file your answer with the court and mail a copy to the other party. All right, you got to do both those things. So you got to print 2 copies of the answer document. You got to send one to the court and one to the opposing attorney. All right, you might be saying, hey, that sounds kind of easy, but is it? Do you know how to use post office? Have you done it recently? Do you know whether you should get priority mail or certified mail? Do you have to get a signature? Do you have to get a signature receipt request? Do you want to get tracking numbers? All kinds of big issues that you gotta deal with at the post office. Very unpleasant, honestly. There is probably no place on earth I'd rather not go than to the post office. All right. Also, you need to have a printer. Do you have a printer? I do. Hey, check that out. Yeah, printer. There we go. We print documents all the time at SoloSuit. Not on that printer. We actually have a better printer that we use to print the documents, and then we mail them to the court for you. All right, we got it all figured out. All right, so good thing to know, in Florida, there is no filing fee to file your answer. The courts don't charge a filing fee. Thank goodness. That's great for you. You'll be saying, hey, where's the address? The address for the attorney is going to be on the summons or the complaint. You're just going to mail it to the attorney that is representing the plaintiff that is suing you. And then the address for the court, really hard to find usually. You got to mail it to the mailing address for the court, not the physical address. When you search on Google, oftentimes it's the physical address that shows up, not the mailing address. Again, we have the long list of addresses for courts in Florida, so if you need help, you can just use SoloSuit and we'll get it done for you. There we go. That's what you need to know about responding to a debt collection lawsuit in Florida. Again, I'm a big fan of Florida. My brother lives down there. My wife, she actually lived in Fort Lauderdale for a while. Yeah, so great time. Happy to help you guys out. Just use SoloSuit, or if you want to do it on your own, don't let us stop you. Go for it. Best of luck to all of you. As always, we are rooting for you. We want you to win your debt lawsuit. We are rooting for you. We will always be in your corner.